So hi, my name is Norah Orare. I'm a Strathmore University graduate. I studied BCom, your course, kila mtu. But I did a major in management sciences and HR. And basically that's just about me. I consider myself a creative. I really like taking random videos and editing them and just posting on my IG, probably giving people opinions on places that I've gone to. And in my free time I like doodling, I like coloring just to release stress. So that means I really enjoy spending time with my little cousins or my nephews and nieces. And I like playing chess because I like how it challenges your mental capability to think and act fast. And yeah, that's basically about me. That's an interesting question. My 20th birthday was filled with the most love, yet it was the loneliest because it was just barely a year since I lost my brother. And my brother was a party pooper in the house. Like, he always remembered everyone's birthdays, ule mse wa kutoa maform. But he died when I was 19, and on my 20th birthday that meant clearly he wasn't there. And this is a time you're getting pity love from people. Kila mtu anakupost IG tagging you, happy birthday, tunafanya nini, you know, how are you doing? Even people I don't know, I'm like, sasa nani amenitag? But so I spent the whole day just replying to DMs and telling people thank you on WhatsApp. But an interesting thing happened. Someone dropped cake and flowers at my gate, and I've never known who it is till today, so I'd love to know in case they see this. Then so that meant after my 20th birthday, it was the beginning of a journey filled with so much love, but loneliness. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but you have people around you to support you, but you still feel lonely in the midst of all that. And my 20th journey has been an interesting one. I'm still in my 20s, turning 24 in December. And it happened when I was joining second year in campus. That's the time my bro died. And now I started failing in school because you see the way people are treating you with so much kindness. I thought that's how my exams are gonna treat me. Hey, I'm just gonna go in without reading. And I mean, I lost my brother. Kwani, as in, the best a lecturer can do is to give me an A bana. Like, I didn't expect I was gonna fail. And the type of person that I am is I really love success. Like, siku and understand aje nita graduate bila first class, you know. And it wasn't that I'm competing with anyone. I just had that feeling that I'm the best and I need to do the best in everything. And when that happened, I realized that life really doesn't stop for you. Because you're going through something, exams are gonna be easier, people are gonna be kinder, nothing like that happens. And I remember I used to travel a lot. Like, my 20s has been filled with a lot of travel. So lost my bro in 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. I made sure I'm out of the country, and the least amount of time I was out of the country was 3 months. But little did I know I was using that to escape reality. I was like, maybe my brother's gone for masters somewhere. So for me, nilikuwa tu nakula life. Like, even people are looking at my Instagram, they're like, kwani you never relax in Kenya? But I was so afraid of sitting in the house like this because those thoughts came, and I'm like, I'm lonely, you know. And the fact that we're just the two of us, I used travel to escape reality. So in 2020, I stayed out of the country for the longest time. I was out for like 9.5 months. So when I came back, I was like, now it's time to settle. And that's when I realized, I knew for real, I don't have a brother, and it's not time to face life. And the thing with grief is, it will wait for you until you deal with it. You know, I thought that 3 years have gone by, everything is gonna be okay. But if you haven't dealt with grief when it comes, 10 years later, it will still be there waiting for you to deal with it. So that's when I started doing therapy. I was like, okay, I can't. Like, kuna venye tu mimi naona hapa, things are thick. So I looked for a therapist. I just saw something on Twitter, and people had plugged affordable therapists in Kenya. And that's when I began to do therapy to get over my grief. And so many people I suggest to grief, they always come up with the idea that therapy rather is very expensive. And something I'd like to tell someone who thinks that is, treat your mental health the way you treat your physical health. Like, now if you fall down and you break your arm or your leg, you'll go to the hospital and you'll pay to probably get medication or something done, or if you need to go for surgery. But why is it that if we have a fracture in our mental health, we really don't want to go the extra mile to seek for help? And I think the good thing is right now in Kenya, we have so many services that are available which you can get at a cheaper price, or some even for free. So your mental health is your responsibility, and it's upon you to work on it. That thing that you are escaping right now with things, it will follow up with you even if it's 10 years later to come. So you better deal with your traumas right now. So after graduating from Strathmore, I was lucky. Barely 4 days later I got a job, and I was excited, and everyone was like, hey, you are lucky ujapitia hii story ya kuhustle. You know the way during graduation people are giving money, they're like, hii ni ya kutamak. I remember even an auntie of mine bought me shoes, akasema hii ni ya kutembea Nairobi kutafuta kazi. But I got lucky. 4 days later I was called in for an interview. They're like, this is the best, we want this one. And before I continue, I think one important thing for someone who's in their 20s and they feel like they're in the wrong course, it's good, you're still young, try out different things. I remember after I finished my undergraduate, I decided to do a certificate in journalism and communication, because so many people were telling me, hey Norah, are you sure you're in the right course? And I can tell you for sure and for free, the journalism and communication certificate that I did is what has gotten me all the jobs that I've been able to do so far. So got my first employment. I was excited. Yeah, I'm getting a salo, nini, can do whatever I want with my money. Then 5 months later, I realized I'm not satisfied in this job. Like there's something, I feel like it's like my boss is toxic, or I don't know. I just didn't feel like I'm in the right place. So I decided, let me look for other options, So nilikuwa natumia tu Wi-Fi ya ofisi, sending CVs, nini. So I got lucky. Another company was like, yeah, we really like what you do with your life, come. So I quit my first job. I joined a different company, and in that company my work schedule was flexible, so I was able to balance 2 jobs at the same time. So this is Norah, killing it in life. I have 2 jobs. I'm even getting 2 salaries. And 3 months in, I was like, no, I don't get it. Like, what am I even doing? And in something interesting is my friends really envied my lifestyle. They were like, Yani, you work and you can leave the house at 9 a.m. or you can go to work at noon. Like it was more of I work from the house and I do, like my schedule was basically flexible, but I still felt there's something, there's something missing. So I just woke up one morning. I didn't even tell anyone. I just sent out resignation letters to both companies, and I was like, you know what? I can't do this. So I kept it a secret from everyone, from my mom. When she wakes up, she goes to work, and me, I'm just there like, naenda kazi. Ati leo niko na project fulani nitafanya tu home. But by then I'd already quit my job. So it was really hard to maintain that lie, for lack of a better word. And one thing I'd like to tell a young person out there is be true to yourself. Kama hauna kazi, sema. Usijidanganye. Sometimes, especially when we go to church or when we're in social circles, you want to fit in. So if someone asks you, what do you do with your life? Unadanganya tu, ati sijui nafanya nini. But in reality, that person who can help you is seated right next to you. Or someone asks you about something, you just beat around the bush. It's very hard to maintain a lie. So wherever you are in life, it's okay. Many people in their 20s don't even know what they're doing. That's the beauty of it. So it's better you're true to yourself, you're open, whatever it is that you're doing or you're not doing, just sell yourself out there and someone will help you. Like, it doesn't make you less of a person if you don't have a job or anything. So anyway, I couldn't maintain the life for a long time. So a month later, I just had to tell my mom, you know what, I felt like it was toxic, so I had to quit. So she's like, so now what are you planning to do with your life? Just how African moms can be like, unataka tu kukaa kwa nyumba ukule ugali. That's basically what you're trying to say. So for me personally, quitting my job was a blessing, because that's when I birthed my company. I own a company called Empathy Basket, and basically I create things to help people express their real feelings towards their loved ones and try to maintain that relationship. And it's 2 months old right now, and the idea is to be able to create baskets that have things inside for various situations. If you have someone who's in the hospital, there's an empathy basket for that. If you have someone who's lost a loved one, there's a basket for that. If you have someone who has a birthday, there's something like that for that. And my first line of products ni greeting cards. So you'd find I do birthday cards, I do cards for people who are going through stuff, but they're special in terms of they have things that you really want to say to someone but you don't have the words to say to them. So I have really tried to put myself in the shoes of someone going through stuff and what they'd want to hear, and I've put that in a card. So you can check my Instagram page, Empathy Basket, and you'll see like the kind of designs that I've been able to come up with so far. And I'm glad I'm getting a very good response from that. And for me, after losing my brother, empathy is the only thing that I could learn. You know, sometimes you see someone has lost someone, umeenda matanga, your visitation, umeenda kwa nyumba, you're seeing people crying and you wonder, no, we are nini? Like, okay, yes, you've lost someone, but is it that bad? And you try to read for them the Bible, you're like, oh, the Lord is dear to the brokenhearted and all those things. And once I lost my brother and people were coming to tell me those things, I was like, these things are not even making sense, you know, like there's some level of empathy that you need. And I just learned recently that empathy and being able to comfort someone is a gift. Because sometimes kuna mtu anaweza fungua mdomo aongee unashangaa, like, you, what are you saying? Like, have you ever gone through something for you to say something like that? So that's one of the best things that I picked up from my grieving journey. And I'm glad that I'm able to help people express their feelings towards people who are going through stuff in one way or another. And yeah, basically. For me, it has to be the fact that I have traveled a lot, and this is something I'd like to tell people. Wherever you are, you're in your comfort zone. If you don't have the opportunity to leave the country, at least leave your hometown, because it broadens your perspective on a lot of things. Because you see, in the house, your parents are there, your siblings are there. If you need something, shika. Like if you're going through stuff, everything's gonna be okay. Like you're in your comfort zone, and you won't really get the opportunity to get out and bloom. So by meeting different people and getting a global perspective on a lot of stuff has really shaped the kind of person that I am today. Like even if I'm thinking of something to do, I'm not really thinking about Kenya or Nairobi. It's more of how am I able to penetrate and be kind of a global person. And definitely the death of my brother has really shaped the kind of person that I am today. You see, when it comes to friends, so many people after they lose a loved one, they now become close to people. They're like, hey, you know, people are here for a short time, let's spend time together. For me, it's the opposite. Like I'm really afraid of getting intimate or building strong relationships with people, because I'm like, na kienda kutaendaje, you know, I don't want to take a lot of time to grieve another person, you know. So it has really given me that kind of trauma for like, yes, we're friends, but wacha ibaki tu hapo, we don't really need to get deep. So it might be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you look at it, but that has definitely shaped how my 20s are going. My childhood. First of all, I grew up with an alcoholic father who was very absent, and that has really influenced the people I date. For example, like tutela date 1, date 2, date 3, naitisha wine. I'm just like ex. Like it has really given me that trauma. Unajua, there are people who are just social. They're not bad people. They're just social drinkers. They can control themselves. But me, I'm like, once I see you can take alcohol, for me that's a no. And that has also influenced the kind of person that I am. I have friends, sherehe, nini, but me ni wale watu wa soda, maji. And you know, for a long time, many people thought it's because she's SDA, so she's so reserved, nini. But for me, it's the trauma. Like there's some things that the SDA church forbids, for lack of a better word, rather we don't uphold. And I struggle with those. But for alcohol, it's not even because of my religion. It's just how I saw it affect my father. I was like, no, that's not the kind of person I want to become. And when I was in high school, I don't know if that still forms part of my childhood, I was suspended quite a number of times. And not because I'm a bad person, but because I decided to put my friends first. At something happened and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna die for all my friends. Sita wasema, we did something with kina nani, but I'm gonna take the blame by myself. And looking back, I don't even talk to some of those people. And I'm I'm just like, why was I sacrificing all that for people who are not in my life anymore? And I think that's something very important when it comes to friends. But just put yourself first. Having friends is very important and all that, but they can cost you your life in one way or another. Then finally, grew up in a home where my mom allowed us to choose what we want. It was, do you want to eat cabbage or spinach or skuma? Like, we had the chance to choose what we want to do. Your room, do you want it painted pink or white? Like, having a mother who allowed me to have an opinion on things has really made me have opinions on things, if that makes sense. In terms of, if something doesn't sit right with me, I'll be like, you know what, I don't want that, I want this one will work for me better and not this one. So I really thank God for my mom for that. In terms of involving me in decision making, I want to get a car, should I get a black one or a pink one? And I feel like those small things that you involve your children in, they really build the kind of people that they become. Yeah. Okay, definitely yes, I am trapped but thriving, especially because of business. Some days business is booming, some days business is a bit shaky, but one thing I've learned to do with my business to thrive as a CEO is separate yourself completely from the business, be it financially, be it socially, be it emotionally. Separate yourself from the business, and it makes you like inapunguza vitu kama your friends are not posting your business, so you want to kill yourself, you want to cut everyone off. Those things, they really don't affect me. In my head, I'm like, if you really like what I sell, you will definitely repost it. You know, like, I don't base my friendships in terms of this one is posting what I do and this one is not posting what I do, you know. And financially, definitely separating yourself really helps. Having a separate account where all your money goes, that usishtuke you've eaten everything, really helps. And what else? You asked something had changed in my 20s. Definitely after I finished high school, after all that drama, I entered campus very scared. Like, I really didn't want anyone to know me, because I was like, the things I've gone through in high school, I don't want to go through that in campus. So if you meet my campus classmates and you tell them Norah is an extrovert, they'll be like, which Norah? Because I was so introverted. I never used to talk to people. I never used to participate in anything. I never used to do nothing, because I was like, I tried that in high school, it landed me in trouble. So that's something I'd definitely change. Like, if I'd go back to campus, I'd take all the opportunities, I'd vie for elections, I'd do all those things, and I wouldn't enclose myself in a circle just because I'm afraid of failing or I'm afraid of doing the wrong thing. And what I changed in my 20s again is start saving early. Start saving your money early. You know, in your 20s, ndio unataka kuparabulate, you're the one who's buying everyone everything, you want to be a people pleaser, you want to show everyone you got everything, but by the virtue that you're trying to show everyone you're rich, it's actually even making you poor, you know. So learning the fundamentals of how do I invest my money, leaving my money in the bank, it's not working for me, how do I grow my money, what are the short-term investments, what are long-term investments, you know. That's one thing I wish I'd started earlier, but I'm glad that I got that information, and yeah, I'm now financially sane. So yeah. My love life. Okay. Personally, I've not been in many relationships. I've been in one serious relationship and one serious situationship, and I think for me it was more of pity, you know. It was just after I'd lost my brother. I feel like there are people who don't know how to shoot their shots, so they wait for you until you're going through something, then they tokelezea, because they know this one needs comfort, this one needs love, this one needs attention. So they show up, and without even asking, can you be my girlfriend, unajipata tu kwa fix, you know. So that's exactly what happened to me. And something I tell someone out there is, whatever it is that you need in a person will tie you down. If you need love, if you need attention, anyone who will show you the slightest bit of attention, watakufunga. So it's a matter of just wait until you're in a space where you don't really need anything that can tie you down for a month, so that you're able to make your decision sanely. And so after a few months with this guy, I started feeling like, what am I doing here? You know, and people are telling you, hey, you are really at Amkai. Like, it doesn't look like, hey, are you two people a couple? Like, because the need I wanted from that guy, Imeisha, me, I wanted the comfort, I wanted the attention I was getting, the calls, I wanted to feel like someone cares about me. But now, a few months later, I don't need that anymore. And then now I realized, no, we're actually not compatible. But then I didn't want to break his heart, so I was like, let me have a meeting with myself and see if this thing can work. And that's the worst thing ladies do, the fact that you try to see if the man will change, or to see if you can grow to love them. Like, imagine kama imekataa enda too. So that's what happened, and at least I got the courage to leave the relationship. And for me, it's more of, make sure you're compatible in all dimensions, in terms of emotional compatibility, physical compatibility, financial compatibility is also important. Unaweza kuwa na mtu na yeye anaona you guys going for holiday in December is wasting money, and for you that's a priority for you. So I feel like there are so many things that come into play when deciding on who to settle with in a relationship. And yeah, right now we can say I am very happy. That is all that I can say. The Lord has been good. Yes. Parting shot.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to do whatever it is that you want to do. If you're a writer, all those things that you have written and you have put in your notes, you don't want to post, this is the time to post it. If you're a photographer, those pictures you've been taking, this is the time to post them. You know, if you're a singer, those songs you've written or those covers that you have done, this is the time to post. If you've always wanted to do something, this is the time to do it. If you wanted to learn an instrument, go and do it right now. And please remember, people are very temporary in your life, and it's okay to let people go. You know, sometimes you have friends and you're like, oh, this is gonna be my bestie forever. When that season of them in your life ends, it's okay to let them go. You'll grieve your friends who you were together in campus, and by grief I don't mean necessarily they die, they just take different paths, or they decide you're not helping them anymore and they're gonna drop you as a friend. It's okay, you'll meet new people. And yeah, just remember, people are temporary. That's all I'm trying to say. And finally, okay, my potter cut.